Well, good morning, good morning. This is Sahara from FYI Sahara YouTube. Do you remember feeling like this when you were young? We're going to work on it. I'm working on it. I have something interesting for you today. We're going to be looking at currency pairs and how to pick the one or two currency pairs that you want to work on. And it is best to just have one or two at a time that you're keeping an eye on. So I'll show you a good place to start. In all trading stations, they have trading signal station. And this will be kind of a consensus of where each pair is going. And I think I want to look at, let me get my pointer. I want to look at the yens, and I'll show you why. And it might be a place for you to focus as well. Here are the popular currency pairs. The one thing that is good to note is what makes a currency pair. If you take a popular pair like Euro-US, it's most popular. It also is a little less expensive. It has a lower spread to buy and sell. But in that pair, one is going up and the other is going down. They say all things are relative, and currency trading is the epitome of relativity. If the pair on the front will be telling you the direction of the pair, and if, let's say, the Euro-US is going up, you will know that the pair on the front of the two pairs, the two currencies, if it's the strongest, the currency will be going up. If it's the weakest, you'll see the currency going down. So it's kind of like if you were to combine these two, New Zealand, Japanese, which is one of your more exotic pairs, if the New Zealand is stronger than the yen, the pair will show an incline. And I think that as you work with it, you'll understand it. So the reason I want to pick these, just take a look at these pairs, is it's good to have more or less harmonious agreement. So so I'm looking at the yens. Here are yen pairs. Pound yen, New Zealand yen, let's see, pound yen, US yen, and Swiss yen. So we're very yenny, just a very yenny experience. So you can be like, yin yang or yin with something. Or you can be zen. If you get in a zen mood, you will really take off. So let's look at some of these pairs. Let's start off with, and see, we're going to check to see if, let's look here. You're going to see if they're all going in the same direction. Let's find the yen here. Here we go, pound yen. The advice is to buy. Let's go down. And the pound yen is one of the most volatile pairs. Let's see. Looks like I'm missing one. Oh, New Zealand yen. And the advice is to buy. Oh yeah, pound yen. The advice is to buy. US yen. The advice is to buy. And the Swiss yen. The advice is to buy. So you've got, this is showing a clear direction of yen pairs. So you're kind of you kind of have, if you're getting different signals, you would go, it might be too choppy to deal with. So right now the yens are showing kind of a breakout quality. This is a daily, And this is a good place to start if you want a bigger view. And I drew some lines down, a trend line, and what you're going to see is the pair has broken out of this trend line, and when you look at the MACD, is going above the meridian, and that's what you want. You want to see things up here if you're going to buy. So, and what you see is a huge spike up. It went from here to here, and well, I guess daily that would be about 7 weeks daily, 7 days. So it went up very quickly, and it looked like it's going to break out of this downward trend. So do you want to buy it or do you want to sell it? Then that's the idea. And with this, I'm not too sure. So let's look at some of the smaller time frames, but the daily is a good place to start. And if you remember looking at the trade signals, that the analysis or general consensus was that the yens are ones to buy. Okay, here you're seeing the daily lines that I do on the daily chart, and the trend was going down, but it showed a sharp turn up. Okay, so do you want to buy it? Do you want to sell it? I'm kind of tending towards, even though the consensus said to buy it, I'm kind of feeling like this isn't what I want to do. You're going to, here on the 4-hour MACD, you see the trend, these two lines here, and you're always looking for them to be up here if you're going to buy, and for the blue line to be heading up, which should be a sell signal. And this is I'm sorry if I didn't mention this is a 4-hour chart. So let's go to a lower level chart like the 2-hour. And I like the 4 and 2-hour best. Okay, I hope this is bright enough to show up on the film. This is, once again, we're at the Euro Yen, and you're going to see how this is 2-hour, and you can see that how on the shorter scale is showing the breakout. This is the daily trend line, and we looked at that before, and you see that it's wanting to trend up. And I wonder if we should do a couple lines on this. So you're going to see that it's wanting to trend up, and my favorite thing to look for is, and if it's bright enough, let me get my pointer down here. You're going to see the blue line, the little thin blue line, rising up above the red line, and this is a double do. This is the green lines going up above the histogram. So with that type of setup, I get very interested. However, this is a reversal. If you look back at the beginning of this chart, and you can see the trend going down. It has been going down, and they're projecting a upturn. This is making me uncomfortable with the turn of the yen. See, while you're waiting for that U-turn, it could be a really long wait, and you have put your money on that pair. So to me, it's like betting on a horse with 3 legs. All it's going to do is go around in circles. I'm having trouble with my camera. If I repeat myself, please that's just the way it goes when you're filming live. I mentioned that the overall picture is it was going down. Then when the coronavirus hit, it took a big dive, and now it's going up. So, and I said, I hate to repeat myself, I thought that when you have a pair that's either up or down, or maybe or sideways, and you have you're putting your money on maybe it will turn around. That's like going to the racetrack and putting your money on a horse with 3 legs. You're going to find that the horse just runs around in circles. So I'm getting a little unhappy with the yen pairs. Let's go look at something else. Before we move on, my favorite chart to bid off of is the 2-hour chart. And you're going to look down here, and it's my favorite setup for when the currency goes down and it starts to go up above the midline, and the blue line is over the red line. That to me is usually to buy it. And I'm going to just wait and watch. So waiting and watching is a good idea instead of anxiety, because you see your pair you picked out tanking. Let's see if we can find another pair to look at, but you have an idea of what to look for. Okay, we can look at the U.S. pairs. Mind you, I'm filming on Memorial Day today, so it's a very, very quiet day. The U.S. currency is the engine that keeps everything running. Mind you, the U.S. currency is just one of many, but when we have a holiday, everything slows down. So let's look at something else. We're looking at what are they suggesting here? Now here's two U.S. currencies. Oh dear, let me get over to where the trading signals are. This is kind of an unusual setup. And by the way, on holidays, it is best to step aside, but this gives us a chance to look at how to set things up. Almost everything is a buy, which is very, very unusual. And as a trader, you start to raise an eyebrow. Everything can't be going up at once, I'll tell you. They're usually all going in different directions. But let's look at some U.S. currencies. The Australian U.S. says buy. The U.S., oh, this is a little different. The Canadian U.S. says buy. Oh, that's, you might want to, don't even look at that, because I would have to explain the difference. And they're good currencies. The U.S. Canadian is one of your more stable currencies. The pound U.S. is buy. And the U.S. yen, and that's buy. And I was feeling a little funny about the breakout on the yen, but the way things is looking, it's best to wait. We can put in a demo currency just to show how it's done, but you don't want to. A demo is where you use play money. It's monopoly money. And you just don't do it in your real account. So let's see, U.S. Australian U.S. That's a nice currency. You start to have favors. So let's look at some of the U.S. currencies. All right, this is the Australian U.S. And this is the weekly chart. This is where you get the big picture. Each candle comprises a week in time. So you're going back about a half a year when you look at this. So what you see is, let me get my pointer. The overall currency was going down for a really long time, okay? Let me see, is the Australian U.S., which means the Australian is weaker than the U.S., because when the currency on top is the Australian, and when that currency pair is going up, the Australian is the stronger one. But right now we see it kind of failing here, and it is going down. Then we have the coronavirus hitting. And as you may know, these things happen in markets. Like on 9/11, they just shut down the market because it was such a big crash. And so, what do we have here? overall, maybe I could draw some lines. Overall, it's going down, and and now the consensus on the trading signals is it's going up, and indeed it is. And this is where, oops, sorry. This is where traders like to get my. I always have tripod karma. This is where traders like to get in at on the ground floor, and this could be a ground floor. And let me see if I can get this down. Is this a ground floor? It looks like it. And sometimes if you get on the ground floor, I don't know. I would need more of a signal. So let's look at the daily. Okay, this is showing the very end of that long weekly cycle, and it looks good. This looks good. Hey, we're going up. So remember, what was it? The Jeffersons and Wheezy was singing, "We're going up to the sky." So here it is going up. It looks comfortable to me because this is a long enough. This is a really long trend of going up. It doesn't look quite so choppy. And let's go back a little bit, and you see the indicators on the MACD, my favorite, is showing that everything's, well, at least the pair is above the midline. Below, going down. Above means going up. And this little guy is about to pip into a green stage. So this is making me kind of interested in the Australian U.S. Let's take it down a couple levels, a shorter time frame. My favorite, 4 hours. Every 4 hours, a candlestick is formed. So what do we have here? I gotta go back for a minute. Let me put a indicator on here. Okay, that's making me feel a little more comfortable about the Australian U.S. And this is the daily. Let's go down a level. Because I think we can make a trade on this. It's going up. You see the larger trend line off the daily? It's going up. That's a very good sign. Let's see. And the 4 hour looked the same, a larger time frame. So it's going up. You would want to put your bid in around down here. This is your trend line from a larger larger frame. Time frame. Let's go down to the 2 hour, and we can either do a real trade or a pretend trade. Since it is a holiday, it's good just to go to a demo and put this in, because things might change a whole lot when the market opens on Tuesday. So on the 2 hour, oh yeah, let's look at my favorite, the MACD pair. I'm not going to be able to get it in my camera. Let's see if I can get this. I don't know why. Sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. All right, let's look down here. So that's what I like to see. Camera problems. Okay, camera. So I want to show you, this is my favorite thing on the 2 hour chart, where I see the the blue line up above the red line, and the little histogram, the green um, markers going up. And this took a real dive down, and now it's on its way up. And that's a very, very good sign. And so we're going to put a trade in on this. Let's go down to a lower time frame. Well, I want you to Meanwhile, I want you to visualize what you're going to do when this pandemic is over and you get some extra money in your pocket. For me, I think scuba diving in the Keys and Key West would bring my chime. So, and it's good to have vision of things like that. No matter what, you have to have a star in your pocket. So here we are on the 30-minute. I'm tempted to go down to the 15-minute because but it is not good to go on lower time denominations. So here we have, this is going to go down, but on the 30-minute is tiny. It's not the big swings that you get. So you want to put your bid in around here. And from where I am, it looks like about 6,500. So we're going to put a bid in there. Let's see if I can do it. Let me just peek-y-poo down in the 15-minute. All right. You see it turning up on the, but it's too short a time to come up with a bid off of this. But it's kind of turning up a little bit. This is going to go right up. So we're going to go down to 6,500 and place a bid in. So on this trading station, you go up to the top and you click order. No, we want to trade. Order. Trading is you buy it outright, and order is you're putting in a bid to bid under the currency pair, right? It's like it's kind of like you're always in a market and they're going, it'll be $10 and you go, I'll give you $8. So that's kind of, life is a negotiation. So let us look at putting a bid. First of all, we want to buy it. Okay. Now we want to put in our amount. I might have to turn the camera off while I do this because of my tripod. I've turned in a bid to buy. You click up in this corner where it says buy 6,500, and I'm going to just place the bid and do the stop and limit later. But this gives you a chance to get started with it. If you have a demo account, go ahead and place this order for yourself. If you are a more seasoned trader, you might like to think about this as a trade. So I'll bid you adieu. So be sure to tune in for the next trading session with FYI Sahara YouTube.